Welcome, everyone, to this channel. I'm Amelia Harris, your guide on this exciting journey to English fluency. Did you know that 90% of English learners struggle to speak confidently even after years of study? They work hard on textbooks and apps, but still feel stuck when they try to talk. This shows that most learners miss one crucial trick. Today, I will share this secret step, and it will change the way you learn English forever. So many people study grammar rules by heart and memorize long lists of vocabulary. They spend hours writing sentences, but they rarely practice speaking. This gap between knowing and speaking creates a wall. Traditional classroom methods focus on tests and writing. Yet real fluency comes only when you use words and phrases in real conversation. That's why so many good students still cannot hold a simple chat in English. Here is the big reveal. The trick that 90% of people ignore is this. True fluency starts with listening first, then copying with your voice every day. You'll see why this trick works, and you'll learn how to use it right away. I call it the secret steps to real speaking. It is a simple idea, but it is powerful. Most people skip this step because it feels too easy or too strange. They think they must know all the rules first. In reality, speaking and listening go hand in hand. By following the 10 steps I'll share, you will unlock real speaking fluency faster than you ever thought possible. You will feel your confidence grow each week. You will notice your accent improving. You will find yourself thinking in English without translating in your head. These steps work because they focus on how your brain learns languages naturally, just like a child does. Let me share a quick story. My friend Mike from Seattle spent 3 years in a local language school. He knew all the grammar rules. He could write perfect essays. But when he visited New York, he froze at the coffee shop counter. He felt his mind go blank. Then he discovered the secret trick. He started listening to native podcasts and shadowing every sentence. In just 5 months, Mike was ordering his own coffee without a second thought, and even made friends on the subway. Step 1. Understand why most methods fail. Have you ever spent hours memorizing grammar rules and still felt stuck? This is where many learners make the same mistake. They learn rules by heart. They write perfect sentences on paper. But when it is time to speak, their mind goes blank. This gap between knowing and speaking creates frustration. You need to see why this happens. Traditional classrooms focus on tests and written exercises. Teachers explain tenses, parts of speech, and exception rules. You study charts and fill in blanks. Yet, you rarely open your mouth. You listen to lectures, but you do not talk back. This one-sided approach builds knowledge, not confidence. It does not train your brain to produce words in real time. Take Sarah's story from Chicago. She spent 2 years in an English school. She read every textbook. She could pass any written exam. But when she met her friend John at a cafe, she could only whisper a few words. Her heart raced. She froze. She felt ashamed. That moment showed her that knowing rules was not enough to speak freely. Why do these methods fail? First, grammar drills do not train your speaking muscles. You build memory, not muscle. Second, isolated vocabulary lists feel disconnected from real conversation. You may know 50 words, but you do not know how to link them in a sentence. Finally, without real speaking practice, your brain never learns to react quickly under pressure. To break this cycle, you must understand the gap between learning and speaking. Real fluency needs active use of language, not just passive study. You need to train your ear and your mouth together. You need to simulate real talk, not just study textbooks. In the next step, we will focus on the first vital action, listening before speaking. This step will lay the foundation for real conversation skills. Step 2. Focus on listening before speaking. Imagine you're Emma from Boston. You start every day with 30 minutes of English podcasts. You don't worry about understanding every word. You soak up the sounds. Listening is like watering a plant. You must give your mind what it needs to grow. When you hear native speakers, you learn rhythm, stress, and flow naturally. This foundation is essential before you try to speak. Most learners skip this step. They jump straight into memorization and drills. Without strong listening skills, your brain struggles to recognize words when you try to speak. You may know the right grammar rule, but you can't connect it to real-time speech. By focusing on listening first, you build an internal map of sounds and patterns. This map will guide your tongue when you form sentences. Here's a simple plan. Choose a short podcast or YouTube clip. 5 minutes is enough. Listen once without worrying about details. On your second listen, write down any phrases you recognize. On your third listen, try to repeat aloud, copying the speaker's tone and pace. Do this every day, gradually increasing to 10 or 15 minutes. Soon, you'll notice your mind predicts the next words, and your accent will improve without extra effort. Let me tell you about David from Denver. He loved American sitcoms, but always watched with subtitles in his native language. One day, he switched off subtitles completely and just listened. At first, he felt lost, but after a week, he could catch simple greetings and questions. After a month, he began to repeat lines with the actors. His friends told him he sounded more natural. This progress came because he prioritized listening before speaking. To make listening immersive, mix different sources: news clips, interviews, songs, and casual conversations. Use apps that slow down audio if you need extra time. Listen in the car while cooking or on your daily walk. The more you expose your mind to varied voices and contexts, the more flexible your brain becomes. By treating listening as an active skill, just like writing or reading, you prepare your brain to speak. You'll find yourself understanding faster and speaking more confidently. Step 3. Shadowing technique. Speak like a native. Shadowing is the art of speaking right after a native speaker, almost like you're their echo. Picture yourself listening to a short news clip. You hit play, then immediately repeat every word you hear, matching the speaker's pace, intonation, and emotion. This simple exercise trains your mouth and brain to work together, just as they do when you're a child learning your first language. Why does shadowing work so well? First, it forces you to listen deeply. You can't just tune out and let the audio play. You must stay focused to catch every syllable. Second, it builds muscle memory in your tongue, lips, and vocal cords. Over time, you'll find your pronunciation becoming clearer, your rhythm more natural, and your speech more confident. Here's how to practice shadowing daily. Select a short audio clip, 30-60 seconds. News clips or podcast snippets work great. Listen once or twice for comprehension. Don't worry about perfect understanding. Play it again and speak along, repeating immediately, even if you stumble. Record yourself while shadowing. Later, compare your recording to the original. These steps may feel awkward at first, but persistence pays off. I recommend doing 5 minutes of shadowing each morning. You can use your phone and headphones. No special equipment needed. As you improve, increase the length of your clips to 1 or 2 minutes. Let me share my own experience. When I first tried shadowing, I selected clips from an American motivational speaker. I stumbled over difficult phrases and felt self-conscious. But after 2 weeks of daily practice, friends told me my accent sounded more natural. I felt a surge of confidence every time I spoke. That boost kept me coming back, and soon I was shadowing entire TED Talks. If you ever feel stuck, switch topics or speakers to keep it fresh. Shadow political debates one day, celebrity interviews the next, and even movie monologues on weekends. This variety not only strengthens your muscles, but also expands your vocabulary and exposes you to different speaking styles. Shadowing is the bridge between listening and free conversation. It transforms passive hearing into active speaking practice with immediate feedback. Stick with it, and you'll notice that forming English sentences feels less like translating and more like expressing yourself naturally. Step 4. Think in English, not your language. Meet Carlos from Houston. For months, Carlos translated every word in his head. He looked for the exact match in his language, and speaking felt slow and awkward. This common habit creates a traffic jam in your mind. Your brain spends time searching instead of expressing. To break free, you must train yourself to think directly in English. Start small. Pick a simple situation. Ordering coffee, checking the time, or greeting a friend. In each moment, silently narrate to yourself in English. I'm ordering a latte. It's 3 o'clock. Good morning, Sarah. Do this throughout your day. Soon, your brain will skip the translation step and go straight to English. Another powerful exercise is the 5-minute diary. Each evening, write about your day in English. No dictionary, no translation. You might make mistakes, and that's okay. The goal is to force your brain to form thoughts in English. Over time, this practice rewires your mind to naturally think in the new language. You will face challenges. At first, you may feel frustrated when words don't come. Your mind may slip back to your native language. When this happens, gently remind yourself, back to English. Keep practicing without judgment. Every small effort builds new neural pathways. Let me share Lily's breakthrough from San Diego. She began thinking in English during her morning jogs. She described the sunrise, counted her steps, and cheered herself on, all in English. After 3 weeks, she noticed that when she spoke with her tutor, she no longer paused to translate. Her words flowed more smoothly, and her confidence soared. Thinking in English is like unlocking a faster lane on the highway of communication. The more you practice, the less you rely on translation. Eventually, speaking in English becomes as natural as breathing. Step 5. Use simple sentences and build up gradually. When you start speaking, keep your sentences short and clear. Imagine you're Emma from Portland ordering breakfast. She says, "I want a coffee." Then she adds, "I want eggs." These simple chunks build her confidence. Long, complex sentences can cause hesitation and mistakes. Begin with basic patterns like I like, I have, and I can. For example, I like pizza, I have a book, or I can swim. Practice these every day until they feel natural. Once you're comfortable, add one new word or phrase each week. This gradual build keeps you moving forward without stress. Avoid the trap of complex grammar too soon. You don't need perfect conditional sentences or passive voice at first. Focus on communicating your ideas clearly. If you want to say, "I drove to the store yesterday," break it down. I drove. I went to the store. Yesterday. Simple steps lead to mastery over time. My friend Jason from Miami started with just one sentence per day. He would record himself saying, "I live in Miami." A week later, he added, "I love the beach." After a month, his simple story became, "I live in Miami. I love the beach. I swim there every morning." His gradual growth felt rewarding and kept him motivated. Every morning, write 3 simple sentences about your day. Speak them out loud. Then next week, write 5 sentences. In a month, you'll have a short paragraph you can share with friends. Each small step boosts your fluency and your self-esteem. Keep it simple. Build step by step. Celebrate each new phrase you master. This slow, steady climb is the path to real confidence. Step 6. Speak out loud every day. Speaking out loud every day is the single most powerful habit you can build. Think of it like exercising a muscle. Without regular workouts, it will stay weak. Carly from Atlanta discovered this when she started reading her favorite blog posts aloud each morning. At first, her voice trembled and she stumbled over words. But after 2 weeks of consistent practice, she noticed her tongue moved more freely and words came out with less effort. You don't need a partner to speak. You just need determination. Use a mirror to practice short dialogues. Pretend you're ordering coffee at a cafe or greeting a neighbor. Record yourself on your phone and listen back to catch areas for improvement. This simple loop of speaking and listening builds both clarity and confidence. If you feel embarrassed, remind yourself that every fluent speaker once sounded just like you. Another great idea is to narrate your daily activities in English. While making breakfast, say, "I'm cutting an apple," "I'm pouring coffee," "I'm reading the news." These small moments of speaking turn ordinary chores into valuable language sessions. My friend Tony in San Francisco began talking to his pet dog in English. His roommates laughed at first, but Tony didn't care. He was transforming every spare minute into practice time. Make a schedule and stick to it. Even 5 minutes each morning and 5 minutes each evening will make a big difference. Find topics you love, sports, cooking, music, and speak about them with enthusiasm. Passion fuels practice. Over time, you'll notice that speaking feels more natural and less intimidating. Step 7. Learn common phrases, not just words. Think of phrases as your toolkit for real conversations. Instead of memorizing the single word hungry, learn the phrase, I'm hungry, what's for dinner? This change shifts you from word searching to idea sharing. Phrases give you ready-made building blocks for natural speech. Start by collecting 10 everyday phrases, greetings, requests, and responses. For example, how's it going? Can you help me with this? That sounds great. And I don't understand. Could you repeat that? Write them on sticky notes and place them around your room. Seeing them daily helps you internalize their use without extra effort. My friend Valerie from Seattle learned these phrases through her favorite TV show. She paused every time a character said something useful, then wrote it down and practiced aloud. Soon, she caught herself using "that's awesome" and "let me think about it" naturally in conversations with her language partner. These small wins built her confidence far more than memorizing lists of single words. To make phrases stick, practice them in mini dialogues. Pair, can you repeat that? With sure. What part was unclear? Or I'll have the same. Please, with coming right up. Role-playing these scenarios helps you recall phrases on the spot. The more you use them, the more they become part of your everyday English toolkit. Step 8. Get feedback, the most ignored step. Feedback is like a mirror. It shows you exactly what others hear when you speak. Yet so many learners avoid it out of fear. They worry that mistakes will embarrass them or make them feel inadequate. But without feedback, you'll keep repeating the same errors and your progress will stall. Embrace feedback as a gift that guides you toward clearer, more accurate speech. Start by finding a language partner or tutor who can listen and correct you kindly. You might try apps like Tandem or HelloTalk to connect with native speakers. Schedule a 15-minute session each week where you speak freely and ask for feedback on pronunciation, grammar, and phrasing. Remember, every correction brings you one step closer to authentic fluency. Let me share Alex's story from Dallas. Alex was terrified of criticism. He avoided speaking practice for months. When he finally joined a weekly language exchange, he braced for harsh judgment. Instead, his partner Mia offered gentle corrections and encouragement. She pointed out that he tended to drop the ending S on verbs. With this insight, Alex practiced that sound daily and soon his sentences sounded more polished. You can also use technology to get feedback. Record yourself speaking on your phone and use voice recognition tools to check accuracy. Platforms like Speechling or ELSA Speak will compare your pronunciation to native speakers and highlight areas for improvement. Combining human feedback with tech insights gives you a well-rounded view of your strengths and weaknesses. Most importantly, adopt a growth mindset. View each correction not as criticism, but as a step in your journey. When someone points out a mistake, thank them and practice that area immediately. This attitude will speed up your learning and boost your confidence. After all, every fluent speaker once made countless errors. Feedback is what turned their mistakes into mastery. Step 9. Use technology to your advantage. Technology puts a world of English practice at your fingertips. You don't need expensive courses. Your phone or laptop is enough. Start with apps like Duolingo or Memrise for daily vocabulary. But don't stop there. Download a voice recognition app such as ELSA Speak or Speechling. These tools listen to your pronunciation and give instant feedback on each word and phrase you speak. Next, join online tutoring platforms like Italki or Preply. You can schedule affordable one-on-one lessons with native speakers from any time zone. Even a 20-minute session twice a week can make a huge difference. Your tutor can guide your speaking practice, correct your mistakes in real time, and introduce you to colloquial expressions you won't find in textbooks. Don't forget to leverage free resources, too. YouTube channels dedicated to English learners offer thousands of hours of lessons, tips, and real-life conversations. Subscribe to channels like Rachel's English or English with Lucy. Turn on English subtitles so you can read and listen simultaneously. Slow down the playback speed if you need more time to catch the words. Finally, use recording tools and language exchange apps together. Record a short selfie video practicing a phrase or mini monologue. Send it to your language partner on Tandem or Hello Talk. Ask them to point out any awkward words or mispronunciations. Then, use your voice recognition app to compare your corrections and track your progress over time. Here's how tech transforms your practice. You get instant feedback, access to real speakers, and endless listening and speaking material. You can practice anywhere, on your commute, during a lunch break, or before bed. The key is consistency. Make technology part of your daily routine, and you'll see faster improvement with less effort. Step 10. Be patient and consistent. The ultimate secret. Patience is the silent partner of progress. Think of learning English as planting a garden. You water the seeds daily, but you don't wake up one morning to find a full-grown tree. You see small sprouts, then leaves, then blossoms over time. Consistency, showing up every day, is what turns tiny efforts into big gains. Meet Sophia from Portland. She set a daily goal of just 10 minutes of speaking practice. Some days she was busy, she still did 5 minutes on the way to work. Other days she stayed longer, shadowing an extra podcast. After 1 month, she barely noticed her steady growth. But when she looked back 3 months later, she realized she could hold a 15-minute conversation without stumbling. That transformation was the result of countless small actions piled up over time. Impatience leads many learners astray. They try an intensive weekend boot camp, feel overwhelmed, and quit when they see no miracle results. Real fluency isn't built in a sprint, it's the marathon. Celebrate every micro victory, mastering a phrase, improving your accent, or having your first 5-minute chat. Keep a journal of these wins. When you feel discouraged, reread your progress log to remind yourself how far you've come. To stay consistent, weave English into your daily routines. Change your phone's language to English. Think in English during your morning coffee. Use an English-only playlist while you clean. These simple habits require no extra time, but add up quickly. Use a habit tracking app or a paper calendar to mark each day you practice. Seeing a chain of check marks creates a motivating streak that you won't want to break. Remember, every fluent speaker was once a beginner. Your small, daily steps will compound into confidence, clarity, and authenticity. Stay patient, trust the process, and keep moving forward even when progress feels slow. Bonus Step 11. Join English speaking communities. Real immersion happens when you use English in social settings. Online and offline communities connect you with people who share your goal, learning and using English naturally. These interactions build confidence and expose you to real-life language, slang, jokes, and cultural references that no textbook can teach. Look for local meetups on platforms like meetup.com. Many cities have English conversation clubs that meet weekly at cafes or community centers. If you live far from such groups, join online forums and voice chat communities. Discord servers, Facebook groups, and language exchange platforms host regular voice channels where learners and natives chat about movies, books, and daily life. Take the example of Raj from Austin. He joined a weekly English book club online. Every Monday evening, he discussed a chapter of a short story with 5 other learners and a native moderator. At first, he was nervous, but each week he contributed one sentence. By week 8, he was sharing his thoughts fluently, cracking jokes, and even moderating a session himself. The camaraderie and real conversation practice accelerated his learning faster than any solo exercise.